Oh yeah, sick. He's got the background and everything. Amazing.
We're good.
We got you.
Ah, thank God. That was just such a big blooper. Everything was going well.
How are you, mate? Sorry, we were running a little bit behind there.
No worries. It gave me time to have a cup of coffee, so it's not all bad.
Amazing.
How's things for you anyway, James? All good?
Yes, yeah, good. Thank you, mate. Good. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the movie and all of your kind words, as always. Appreciate it.
No worries, man. I'm just going to jump right in and just say that um, one more shot has to be one of the best openers to 2024. A few action movies have dropped this year so far, without naming any, because I don't want to dispute against anyone. But one more shot, if you were to put them into categories, like A list, B list, this is the best of like the B movie bunch. Taking top place with A Spot, I have to say, is The Beekeeper. Um, but it's really, really rare. You get Scott Adkins and Jason Statham both kicking ass at the start of the year and taking credit for everything. So over to you here. What was it like getting this film sort of set up? Because it's bigger than the first one in many ways. Do you not agree?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Jeff. I mean, very kind intro there, mate. I'm actually seeing Beekeeper on Thursday, so I'm very excited to see it. Oh no, Wednesday, tell a lie, but can't wait. So good to know we're in good company as David Ayer and Statham. That's awesome.
Both of
Um,
the best movie.
wow, amazing. Yeah. We did have a release. We did when I did Green Street 3, which was God, 12 years ago or something. It was released at the exact same time as Hummingbird, and they were both Lionsgate, and Lionsgate did like a fight night. They had Adkins on one side of the poster and Statham on the other. And that was like a good year to be compared to the Statham movies. Anyway, I've digressed. Yeah, I mean, look, the intention for this movie was to feel bigger and better than the first one. The first one was always a kind of dream to make. We never thought we'd get to make it, and then the COVID and the need for content and had pushed enough people in the right direction to kind of get behind the movie to make it. I'm talking about Signature and Mark Goldberg, and he really took a punt on the first one, which I'm forever grateful for. And it was with that we made it, but obviously we were making it on a budget. We were making it during COVID. We had less money than we did on this one, so there were certain restrictions that we just couldn't avoid. So ultimately, it has a little bit of a low budget feel, and tried to capitalize on that by kind of making it feel gritty and kind of embracing the tools that we had and giving it that raw edge. And then with this one, I knew that we were going to get a little bit more, sorry, one actually ended up being probably far greater success than most people thought it would be. I obviously knew it was going to be a success, but like for the masses out there, they were kind of surprised, and it did great numbers for people. And people were like, "Okay, you should make a second." And I said, "Well, actually, me and the producer Ben kind of had been talking about two more movies, a second and a third, and then this kind of like we just sort of spiraled into how can we do it? What can we do better? What did we learn from the first one?" And we took all those lessons and then put them into one more shot. And I've said this from the beginning that I always wanted the franchise to feel like a kind of computer game movie trilogy, and that kind of the first movie, if it feels like this Russian kind of gulag kind of European concrete green gray cold movie, I always wanted the second movie to feel different and the third movie to feel different. So they feel like different levels of a computer game. So how like in Metal Gear Solid, you have that kind of like forest level, airport level, you know,
Yeah.
tundra, desert, snow. And that was kind of the vision. So when we were whittling down what do we do with the second movie, we always knew it was going to be in Washington because we wanted to continue this 12 hours jump in time. Now Mansour has been escorted to Washington, but do we go into like a Hilton in Washington? Do we do a road system and like the streets of Washington? And ultimately landed on the airport because it's just so cinematic and visual and feels big budget, and it's like there's a little bit of an homage to Die Hard 2 in there, and it ticked all the quota of glass, steel, that kind of Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid vibe. If the first one's got more of a Call of Duty, this has got more of so these were all intentional things that we were kind of thinking. Now, when you're talking about these things and putting them down on paper, you can write whatever you want. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then, fortunately, Sky came in. They were interested. Signature again were interested. My producer Ben Jakes, who kind of is like lead producer across the two movies, said, "I think I can get us an airport." And then that was enough for us to go, right, let's write it in an airport, and we went for it.
And you really struck gold with Adkins, because I think you could give Adkins £1.50 and he can do lots with it.
Well, you've basically just described my career. Yeah, no, I mean, look, this is my fourth movie with Scott. The first movie, Green Street 3, we basically did make for a packet of crisps. And it was about the start of a beautiful friendship. And since then, I've got to know him a lot better and kind of what we like to do together. And the Jake Harris role in this franchise was written for him. It was always supposed to be him. So we've able to kind of write to his strengths as well, and like bring the character that we wanted to see him sort of be and do to screen, which isn't always the case, because sometimes you have to write the movie and then you attach an actor and then it kind of gets shaped a bit differently from the way you originally wanted it. Whereas this has always been, let's write for Scott. And I think it shows, because he just owns this character.
You mentioned there about a third one, which is kind of funny, because my review has not been published yet, just so everyone knows, okay? And towards the end of my review, I put in, they need to make a third movie, and it's called One Last Shot. Would that be the title of the movie?
Yes. That's very much an exclusive. I'll probably get my ass kicked tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, look, I think it'll be One Last Shot. That would be the dream if we could, round out the trilogy with that name. There's probably someone out there that might want One Final Shot, but we'll debate that in a room one day.
And would you be like friendly to the character of Jake Harris? Would you give him a break, or would you have, as soon as he leaves at the end of One More Shot, just put him through hell on the same day?
Well, I have between me and the producer and the writer, we have an idea we have a 10-page sort of treatment for the third movie. But so much of the success of this one as well, I think, has been that we were able to kind of respond to the notes and the fans that we got off of movie one. So I don't necessarily want to tell you, and I wouldn't want to spoil the third movie, but there will be some response to kind of, I guess, what we read. The movie comes out on the 12th, which is this Friday, and then on the 16th in America. And once we kind of understand where we sit, there'll be some augmentation, I'm sure, but it'll be a good one.
I'm good. I was thinking there after watching it, and then I wrote my review. I was like, shit, do you know what? You shot yourself in the foot, because this is like Terminator 2 sort of shit. One More Shot is like the Terminator. You got like one shot, which is Terminator, one more shot, which is don't be doing no Terminator 3,
Yeah, there is a bit of a curse, isn't there? That the movies don't generally get better, and then 3 normally falls off the cliff. And I actually do like Godfather 3. I mean, like, I don't like it.
Me too, but I try not to say that out loud.
Yeah, well, Francis Ford Coppola is going to kick my ass, but I like Godfather 3 actually. But you're not wrong in that there are very few franchises that manage to keep getting better and better, and obviously we aspire to that, and it would be lovely to you got Alien and Aliens, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, and I think we've set ourselves up for a cool third one. And I want to see what the reviews think of this one first, because I take it that you like this one.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll give a spoiler out right now. I gave this shit 5 stars.
Oh wow, amazing.
Like, thanks, I watched it, and then I was like, shit. I went upstairs and woke my wife up. I was like, damn, we need to watch this. And then, like, she obviously told me to go away, because it was like midnight and she had work in the morning. So then I was like, we're watching this again. I could have watched it right after. It was brilliant.
Oh, that's sweet of you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's awesome.
And then the
Um,
addition of Tom Berenger was awesome. You know, the original sniper himself. What was it like working with Tom?
oh, he's a sweet guy. He's just a sweet, sweet man. You know, Oscar nominated for Platoon. Um, I I don't I don't get nervous actually in front of people. I think I'd probably maybe Robert De Niro. I'd probably get nervous in front of, but I'm quite good at, because I've got the movie in my head and I'm quite set. I'm not sort of nervous about talking to people because I kind of have, I'm just confident enough to communicate the vision that I see it. But obviously, I'm malleable and flexible to. I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that we've got Tom Berenger, an amazing actor who wants to bring, what he wants to it. And he was just a lovely, lovely person to work with. He and not grumpy, not like, it's going to sound silly, not old. Like he's he's approaching mid 70s, but he was up in the trenches till 4 a.m. with us every night, and then might have a drink at the bar before going to bed. And he was just like a social fun, hearing stories about Platoon and all these incredible Hollywood movies and directors that he's worked with, Wolfgang Peterson, I seem to remember, just lots of anecdotes. And that's kind of like one of the fun things when you get to work with these people, these kind of legends. And no, he was just a sweetheart, really.
Speaking of legends, you've also got Michael J. White on villainous duties too. What was it like sort of pitting him and Scott together again? Because that's a huge sell for any action movie. Once you have them two head on head, you couldn't care what the plot was. You just want to see, because they're two of the best martial artists out there. So it's always fun to see them go head to head, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Look, we were super lucky that Michael wanted to do the movie. So spoiler, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it, but Michael watched movie one shot, and text Scott and was like, Scott, you deserve an Oscar for the first one shot because it's just amazing. And then when we came to making the second one, Scott had told me this. I said, can you reach out to Michael J. White and see if he wants to be in number two? And his response was just like, hell yeah. Like, he was really responsive to that. And it helped that I think Scott's manager actually might manage Michael as well. So it wasn't like a hugely difficult red tape situation where we were struggling to get it to Michael, because with the managers knowing each other and Scott having him on speed dial, and the fact that Michael was a fan of the first one, he was kind of like very keen to be part of the second one. And then actually the only difficult thing with Michael was that he was shooting a series in America at the same time, and bless him, like he wrapped, jumped on a plane, came to England, shot his scene. I don't think he slept for like nearly 2 days, where he just came straight to set. So but I guess I took that as commitment that he really wanted to be part of the project. But he put himself through it. And then, as you say, between Michael and Scott, they're two of the best on-screen fighters on the planet right now, and they really kind of brought that to the I'm spoiling it, but I guess everyone knows, but they have a fantastic fight in the movie. And it was nice to see, because everyone's a kid really when you're enjoying what you do. Everyone sort of regresses into like just childhood fun and make believe. And I think that's when you're doing something you've never done before, because Scott had done it before, but Michael hadn't really done like a 3.5 minute fight scene in one take before. And it's amazing how it's not boring for them, because they're like, oh, this is so new. I'm kind of like, being a kid again, I guess, and they live for that kind of stuff, to actually show the fighting, as opposed to having to cut really quickly and like dodge a punch and things like that. They really get close because they have to, because of the way we shoot it.
And speaking of that, how was it on your end? Because it's not just one of them movies where you're in like one room, you go out into the hallway, there's a scene where Scott gets in the car to escort the prisoner. They go down. There's a car chase. you're all over the car, and then you're getting out of the car, and then you're going down like this alley, and then there's shooting, and then you're going upstairs through door, left, right. It goes everywhere, man. How was that on you?
Yeah, wild. I'm seriously like, I don't know if you can see these grays, but they weren't there last time we spoke. Yeah, well, I live for this, man. Like this, I'm living my dream making movies, and the fact that I get to make something that I kind of had in my head for so long and got to put down and got enough people behind it to make it. I don't think about the hardship of that. I think of just the fun of how are we going to do this, not like that'll be hard. So yeah, I mean, we do some really ambitious stuff, but that is by design because we were like, how can we? It's kind of like what you said on the opening of this interview. It's like how we really tried to up the game from the first movie. The first movie was a lesson in how are we going to do this. The second movie was like taking that knowledge and that now adding like more tricksy camera stuff, like passing a camera out of a car, like throwing a camera down a stairwell, like, and it not breaking, like, and not cutting to do those things, like doing them for realsies because everyone's going to think we cut, but we actually didn't. Like, we just did it. And I had a fantastic DP as well, which I got to hand him a boatload of credit. His name's Job. And if he'll work with me again, which I'm sure he will, but if he will, I'll have him because he just brought so much good energy and great lighting and ideas to the production about, and he'd even push me. Like, I'd be like, oh no, this would just be a walk and talking. Like, oh no, fuck that. Like, let's do this. And I'd be like, oh yeah, we should do that. So he's got his hands all over the movie, and his wife actually was the camera operator. So which was a first for me to have a husband and wife DP and camera op. I don't even know if there is another one of that in the world, but they didn't bicker like an old couple or anything. They just kind of got on with it, and they took the work home with them, and bless them, and they watched the rushes every night. And they came in the next day, and they'd be like, "Oh, can we do that again?" I'd be like, "Are you crazy? Like, we've got no time. It's fine. It's beautiful. You being hypercritical, but yeah, no." And they really I'd say Job really added like a level of gloss to this one, along with the location and the lighting, but just really went for it. And I'm so grateful to him for that.
And I have to say, the way that every like sort of movie and that has like a downside to it. If I had to downside one thing for the first one and this one, would be that the UK is not releasing this on Blu-ray. That's
Yeah,
the only thing. I had to search high and low for the first one,
I
and
don't
then
think they did a UK Blu-ray for the one shot. I don't believe it.
I think I got a US release.
Yeah, you would have got the US because I've got the US. I think it's just part of the Sky deal. When you do the Sky deal, it's like they buy it for like,
Just kind of understand we're collectors of this shit. We have physical media. I have like 1,000 Blu-rays out there, and I have Scott Adkins sitting in a collection.
Oh, mate, I feel you. I know exactly your pain, and because I collect the movies as well, and yeah, unfortunately, I think in this instant you're going to have to buy an American blue or potentially a German one, or there'll be somewhere in Europe that does it. But I am also extremely grateful for the Sky release, to tell you the truth, because they really got behind both movies in the way that they pushed them and supported them as producers and production companies. So I'm really grateful for the home that Sky have given us, and I'm so excited to see what happens on Friday, to tell you the truth, because if it all rests. That's what we always have this discussion where it's like, please don't pirate movies, please don't steal the movies. Even if you've got Sky, watch it on Sky so it reports on Sky as a watch, as opposed to like watching on one of these sticks that you get off Amazon or whatever, because if the movies don't report well, we don't get to make the next one, so we really need everyone to watch it legitimately and get behind it and give it good reviews, and fingers crossed we can continue the franchise.
I agree, because it's always sort of the fans that sort of end up shooting themselves in the foot. Like the Boyka series got shafted because everyone pirated it. The Ninja franchise got pirated as well, so that got shafted too. And Scott's got his new sort of franchise here, and it's brilliant. It's one of them ones that just shouldn't, it should be watched either on the big screen, or big 4K TV, and not on some dodgy USB.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, no, we keep saying that, and I think we're getting there with it. But no, the Sky release is really exciting because it's going to get a lot of bums on seats on Friday night. So,
Well, James, it's been awesome speaking to you. Best of luck on Friday night. See a bad review out there, I'll be reaching out to them personally, being like, what's happening here? Best De Niro face on, I'm telling you now, because One More Shot it's contender, like I said, it's Statham's best movie, that Beekeeper, but they're really tight, they're really, they're neck and neck, it's a wicked film to start the year with, and it's definitely set the bar high.
oh, mate, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And then, you know what, people don't pirate it. We need the third one. Do not mess this up. One more
Yeah,
chance, and Adkins sort of set of movies. Let's not mess this up.
that's it, man. Let's close out the trilogy right. Let's do it.
Exactly. Right, James, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully we get to speak again sometime on your next one.
I hope so, Jeff. Thank you so much, mate.
No worries. Take care and best of luck on Friday.
You too, buddy. Look forward to the review.